Clyde spawning over here in the bottom location. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one game up and very, very close to making it into the quarterfinals here at the Gigabyte Esports LAN. Representing xSix, the Red Zerg. Give it up for Sleep. And his opponent in the top right spawning location, the Blue Terran, one of the early GSL favorites in Korea. Will he be able to bring this game back to a 1-1 tie? We'll find out in just a moment. Who won Slayer's Clyde to win this game?
Sure, Artosis is cheering all the way from Korea.
I can hear him from here, man. Those cheers pretty loud. Clyde, of course. Is he son of Nesty? I've heard him called that before. Wonder if he's going to come true.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Clyde's pretty good.
He's going to have to win this game to be
close. He definitely does. Of course, guys, this is a single elimination bracket. If you lose in this bracket, there is no lower bracket for you to come back out of. So if Clyde loses this game, he is out of the tournament. A lot of pressure on him at the moment. And look at this. We have a barracks going down in the natural expansion behind the mineral line, possibly anticipating an early drone scout from Sleep. And there it is. And maybe it'll make him think it's a proxy 11-11 or something like that, but Sleep will be able to scout that very shortly. I should note, by the way, that this position right here is a very popular place to place barracks when you're doing this Maka rack style, whether it's 1 or 2 barracks, because once you lift them up, it's very, very easy to fly them straight back into the main base. So we'll see if Sleep scouting is up to par here and if he'll find that racks.
Oh, the drone was starting to dart back into the natural right now. But still no idea really what's going on. And now obviously the options are proxy or your opponent is actually just saving up for a command center. But looks like the drone is going to come down here and check. No,
oh, he misses it. He misses it. He's actually going to check the third base location, another popular one. But I'm surprised he isn't going up to this top left corner. Actually, he is right now, I think. So like I mentioned before, that's a very popular location to put your racks, but Sleep will find that it's not there. And at this point, he might be making a couple of contingency plans just in case they're down here somewhere.
Yeah, we see the Overlords desperately trying to look for stuff. The drone's still frantically checking for proxies, and we are going to see a 1 rack CC follow-up here from Clyde.
I think once the Overlord saw the Marine sort of over here at the natural expansion, he must be thinking, oh, okay, great, the barracks is at least on this side of the map, so I don't have to scout like crazy on my half. So maybe Sleep will be a little bit safer in this regard, but he still wants to make sure that it isn't a 11-11, so he's going to be getting his pool up right now, and I can only anticipate a couple of Lings and Queens will be produced shortly.
Yeah, so a little bit of a difference from last game. Last game we saw him go for the gas in conjunction with the spawning pool. This time going to opt to go for more of a gasless style, and I actually favor this a little bit more. He's going to go with that double queen here, and probably go up to that 4 queen opening. I think this is going to work really well.
One gas now being taken from xSixSleep. And meanwhile, in Clyde's camp, we have the double gas coming down in the main base after the command center. So fairly normal stuff. The barracks now going to be lifting, flying back into the main base. In the meantime, we have, look at these Zerglings still continuing to scout absolutely everywhere, and we have a engineering bay blocking the third here. I think Clyde saw that Sleep was expanding unhindered in that last game. He saw that he took a fast third, and he just wants to make sure that doesn't happen. So interesting use of 150 minerals. Don't forget, engineering bays aren't cheap, but at the same time, that will get cancelled a little bit later on. So just double checking to make sure that Sleep cannot expand early.
Yeah, making that engineering base such a smart move. It's actually one of the highest health buildings for its cost, and obviously it can be cancelled since it is not finished. So he's going to force a decent number of Lings here from Sleep if he ever wants to get that fast third.
Have to wait and see what ends up happening here. We've got a factory and a reactor even on the barracks here, so we are going to be seeing some Hellions pop out of Clyde. It looks like he is in favor of the reactor Hellion expand here. We're going to see the first 2 pop out very shortly indeed. Meanwhile, still on 2 gas, 3rd and 4th gases not yet taken. We have actually gone up to 2 gas now on xSixSleep side of the map, and also for him, no gas taken at the natural, but that is about to change as both of them become assimilators, or extractors even, because he plays Zerg.
Right now we do have Clyde going for a 3rd command center, as well as starting that starport. So right now, again, he's going to start that 3rd base before our Zerg player, who's now trying to work down that engineering bay here.
All right, fairly typical TvZ opening here as the engineering bay is getting low and will get cancelled very shortly from Clyde. So we do see the Hellions going into Banshee kind of play. Of course, a lot of units that Zergs do not like to deal with. Hellions roasting those drones and Zerglings oh so quickly, and Banshee's just a pain to deal with no matter who you are. And once again, we see this creative bunker placement coming out of here from Clyde, opting to put it inside his natural expansion near his mineral line rather than out here, so that any Zerglings that actually do manage to sneak their way in are going to have a big problem harassing these SCVs over here.
Yep, and right now we do see that Banshee in production as well as the Hellions, but you know what that's bad against?
What's that?
Mutalisks.
Mutalisks?
Now we see
Yeah,
a Baneley nest, and there goes the Spire. Just what I was thinking. And so Sleep is actually going to go up for a 2-base Muta right now. I still don't see that 3rd base going down, but do we have the drone? No, still no drone sent over there. He's just going to add on an Evo chamber to complete off this little semi-wall at the front of his natural. And this actually is going to be incredibly effective. Looking at the unit count right now, there are only 3 Marines out on the field, and the 1 Rax here just now starting stim.
Overseer spotting everything, knows that the Banshee is coming out of Clyde's base, Thundertoss, so he is going to have time to prepare for this. Are we going to be defending purely with Queens? I don't see any Spore Crawlers in production. I like this. He's just going to be making sure there are Queens around. No Cloak has been researched for those Banshees. Aspire currently about 2/3 of the way done, so those Mutas will be hitting the field shortly. And look, this is what I was talking about from Sleep. Ridiculous map presence here. This guy sees more or less all of the map at the moment. Incredible Overlord spread. When you're playing against Sleep, it's kind of useful to get a Viking. You really want to limit those Overlords. He is just so good at spreading them around.
And right now, Sleep banking about 1k as that Spire is about to finish. So he's going to be able to turn out 10 or 11 Mutalisks instantly, and that's going to immediately give him back that map control. Going to be able to take care of the Banshees and the Hellions over here at the Zelnaga Watchtower. And we see that's going to be very important as he is now taking that 3rd hatchery finally here. And there he goes, the 10 Mutas on the way and investing into Flyer Attacks level 1. And now starting to re-drone here as he takes these 2 extractors at his 3rd base.
And this is going to be pretty painful for Clyde, because if he doesn't move his units back shortly, the Mutalisks are going to demolish absolutely everything. The Banshee actually moving away before the Queen can get too many shots off, so the Mutas will stay hidden for a little while. But look at this. They are swarming out now, completely ignoring the Hellions. Clyde is helpless as the Mutas move into his main base. What defenses does he have there? We do have a missile turret up in the mineral line at the main base. The second one going to be going up now, but these production structures are looking awfully exposed right now. Another missile turret going up in the southern position. It looks like he's going to be taking that out first. And why not? But we do have the Marines. The Marines are actually blocked by this orbital command, so they're unable to get those pot shots off on those Mutas quite as well as he wants.
Yeah, has to cancel a building there to maneuver his Marines around, but looking at the units tab, there are only a total of 12 Marines out right now. He has now added 2 more racks with reactors, so he's going to be able to turn out more of them. But right now, these Mutas are controlling the airspace, stopping some of these production buildings from going down, and just doing a little bit of harassment here from Sleep.
Excellent stuff with the Muta, darting in and out of the base, making sure he takes minimal damage, and actually camping out the production structures to try and kill as many Marines as he can as they pop out of the racks. We do now see a stim coming out from Clyde, picking off a Muta or 2 there. The Mutas will be heading home for Sleep. Meanwhile, the 4 Hellions actually still over here, taking out that creep, and it looks like some Zerglings are going to catch Clyde off guard. 2 of them going down immediately. The other 2 will be moving back. More creep spread now. I like this instant additional creep spread as soon as the Hellions are out. Sleep is so good with this creep spread. It will be in the middle of the map very shortly.
And looking at the income tab right now, we have 56 SCVs compared to the 88 Harvesters for Sleep.
17 drones just completed, Thundertoss. Yep.
And he's getting a 4th base over here in the top left. In the meantime, the Zerg still dropping creep, and we do see a Zergling there. Does have burrow, but not burrowed yet. Over at the 3rd for Clyde, who is actually just going to opt to take the center expansion instead.
And this is actually a very brave move from Clyde at the moment. He hasn't done that well in the opening engagements. The Hellions picked off a couple of creep trimmers, but not too many. There weren't any drones roasted in that initial engagement, and the Mutas actually did a decent amount of harassment damage because, if you remember, there are very few of them actually dead. And most of these are actually in the green right now, so doing a good job of preserving those Mutas is Sleep at the moment, just continuing to patrol the map to see what's on offer. They are going to be popping back in to the main base right now. There is a double turret up here, so he needs to be a little bit careful. He might be able to take those out if SCVs don't repair. And look at this, more and more Mutas coming in. He wants strength in numbers here. A flock of Mutalisks going to be moving in. 2 flyer attacks just starting for xSixSleep, and here we go in the back of the mineral line. 2 turrets, and 2 of them do go down. The SCVs won't be able to repair in time, and now the Mutas able to wreak havoc. All of the SCVs getting pulled off of the mineral line there. Good choice. A couple of supply depots going down as well, and Clyde is now supply blocked on 121.
And Clyde, I think, might decide to trade here as his army is across the map, pushing forward towards that 3rd base of Sleep. Right now, he does have stim and combat shields as well as a couple tanks. Stimming forward, knows that he needs to get enough damage done.
Huge run by at the 3rd base as well.
And the Lings, as you mentioned, doing some nice damage as well. Both players trading, but look at the Banelings over here trying to close with the Marines. One of these tanks does go down, but right now the Marines are a little bit too strong for these forces. He needs to wait for the Ling reinforcements here. But now the hatchery under attack, the drones being pulled, the Lings coming out. And is this going to be enough right now? He's going to clean up a lot of these Zerglings, but no, too much. The Muta's still here being reinforcing. And look at the main, just so much damage being done by Sleep. He's now at twice the supply of Clyde.
I love the decision to pull the drones there, Thundertoss. Great point. I mean, those drones were just there to soak up the damage, but why did he have to pull them? He wasn't in a GG situation. People might be wondering, well, hang on a second, you're not about to lose. Here's why. Sleep recognized that as long as he repels this push from Clyde, there is nothing left at home. And if he could do that, he would win the game. And as soon as he saw that was the case, pulled all the drones to make sure that they soaked up the siege tank fire, and the Lings, Banelings, and Mutas did the rest. Sleep now a 171 supply to 74 for Clyde. He is 100 supply up at the moment, and he is looking poised to take this series 2-0.
As Zergling burrowing under that third command center of Clyde, and knowing he did the damage, he's actually going to pull back here, but as you mentioned, did not want to have to bring any of those Mutalisks home, wanted to do as much economic damage as possible, and we see that it did get done. Clyde now down to 28 Harvesters, so there was 44 workers killed as both of those players were trading, but he didn't lose a single hatchery there, and Clyde only killed a total of 3 drones this entire game.
That is absolutely insane. 44 workers killed to 3 as it currently stands. And Sleep making an awful lot of Banelings. Clyde is on creep with these tanks and Marines. He needs to be oh so careful. There's nowhere near enough Marines to defend against Mutalisks, but they are across the map here. Going to be doing so much damage in the main base.
That is 24 Mutas picking up all these add-ons. And right now, Sleep, I don't think he's even going to care about this 5th base here in the center. He's pretty much giving that up. The Marines trying to go up the ramp towards the natural, but look at these Zerglings and Banelings just sitting there in wait. And right now, the Muta Cloud going back towards the main, going to continue to do that damage. And here goes the push down towards the bottom. The tanks just are not enough. The Banelings going off, and the Banelings close up on everything. Then
well won, GG. And xSixSleep taking that series 2-0, advancing to the quarterfinals here in the Gigabyte Esports LAN. Slayers Clyde, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to him at this point. But I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it, but he was a little bit outclassed in that game.
Yeah, I gotta say, the first game, he just did that really awkward opening, going for the double gas, and then going for that second barracks, and didn't really get any damage done. And here, Sleep just outclassed him on this, and on his own map choice, no less. So.
Exactly. There's a nice play from, great play from Sleep there. Clyde obviously going into this map choice with a game plan, with the engineering bay block at the third there, but unable to stop the 2 base timing from doing a lot of harassment damage there with those Mutas earlier on in the game. And then the momentum from that was just used to keep creating a larger economy, a larger army, and Clyde just unable to keep up.
Yeah, I think Sleep might have just had a really good read there against his former teammate, opting to go for that 2 base Muta before the 3rd base, and versus a Banshee Hellion build, I mean, what are you going to do? We saw that he was forced to double the turrets at every single point because he only had 6 Marines out at the time that those Mutas were coming out. So.
And that didn't even
really
stop
have
him.
Any anti-air.
He just made more Mutas and just kept going with the missile turrets anyway. Just knocked them right down, and there simply weren't the Marine numbers there to reinforce because so much was invested earlier on in the game into that Hellion Banshee. So well played. xSixSleep, guys, is going to be moving onwards to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, hope you all enjoyed that game. If you are actually at the GESL here, make sure you go check out all of our sponsor booths. We have Gigabyte, Kingston, Cooler Master, and Newegg giving a lot of cool prizes. Make sure you also join those raffles. And downstairs, we actually have that Mad Catz Arena.
Oh, that is so much fun.
At the arcade. So
yeah,
that's really, really sick.
If you guys haven't seen the arcade yet, go downstairs, check it out. Lots of awesome machines there. And and we do have a lot more people playing games at the back of the hall as well. So really looking forward to checking all of that out later on.
Yep, but I think that's going to be it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed that series, and we'll be having a lot more StarCraft coming up after this.
Don't go anywhere.